I think I got lucky, because in high school, I figured out the one thing I wanted to do for the rest of my life, and that was making movies. That strapping young lad over there is me, diving across the floor with 2 guns. And even in a gunfight, I make sure to take off my shoes indoors. These are clips from a feature-length film a friend and I made in high school back in 2002, and man, everybody in this movie is wearing sunglasses, huh? 2002 was a very clutch time to start playing around with After Effects and Final Cut Pro. Along the way, making movies has intersected with other pursuits, such as my brief yet fruitful career as a stone-cold, globe-trotting Guitar Hero professional.
Angels and Airways, Flyleaf, and Sebastian Bach after this from the Hard Rock in Times Square. Don't go anywhere.
This is about as serious as it gets.
That's my gold medal from the World Series of Video Games from 2007.
I keep that around to remind me of how good I am at Guitar Hero. But even though I was one of the most electrifying pro gaming personalities of all time, behind all of that was a desire to make entertaining videos. Like this one, the first video brand I made freshman year of college, along with our friend Pat. And this is the oldest artifact I have from the pre-YouTube days.
A tintype photograph of me in a bear costume.
Back then, Nico, Sam, Brandon, and I, and later Matt, lived and worked out of a former paint factory on a dead-end street in an industrial part of LA. And there was a guy in our building who did tintype photographs. And one day, he saw me on the street messing around in this bear costume from the direct-to-DVD horror movie I produced called Bear, and he was like, "Hey, you want a picture of that?" And I said, "Yeah." This unassuming dead-end street was where we all got our start. It was completely empty after work hours and also on weekends, so it quickly became the backdrop for numerous visual effects experiments, action shorts, full-on gunfights with realistic weapon props. In those days, we could get away with basically whatever we wanted, and nobody would call the cops on us. So we started working on the Freddie W YouTube channel in early 2010, which was, in retrospect, a clutch time to start a YouTube channel. And by the end of the first year and nearing 1 million subs, we did something called the Freddie W YouTube Road Trip 2010. The plan was to solicit cool locations from our then burgeoning 97% male, 3% female fan base, and then get in an RV and drive around the country and meet up with those fans to make cool YouTube videos. We were pioneers in this sense because we weren't just meeting up with fans, we were using them for content. We met people who recognized us from our videos for the first time. This is our first ever fan meetup in an In-N-Out outside of Sacramento. We made a video with Ian and Anthony from Smosh. We got our first community guideline strike for this video.
Ah! Oh my God!
We had to explain to YouTube, this is a visual effects channel. I'm not stupid enough to stand in front of a guy shooting a rifle at me. That is a real explosive charge though inside the watermelon. It's not like we didn't test it first.
Mm-hmm. 3, 2, 1.
See, the other watermelon is fine.
We also made our first viral video, Future First Person Shooter. It's kind of weird, I have to run in a weird way.
On our YouTube channel, we were always pushing ourselves and trying new things.
Because we wanted to learn as much as we could about filmmaking. Remember, I didn't get into movies because of YouTube. I got into YouTube because I wanted to make movies. So in 2012, we made Video Game High School.
Kitty, move. Kitty, move.
And you know what? I'll say it. That show's pretty good. I think it's fair to say it's a cult classic now. I don't know if I get to say that. It'd be like editing your own Wikipedia page, but you know.
This time we're watching VGHS, which is my favorite thing in the world. It's my favorite thing in the world.
Brian D happened to beat him on national television.
It is the epitome of what can be done with an independent internet series made by a group of people who epitomize independent internet success.
The years have been kind to our show, but few seem to remember that when VGHS first came out, about half of the Freddie W audience thought it was the shittiest, cringiest thing they had ever seen. None of the cool gaming blogs we were reading would write about it. Kotaku, don't even get me started on Kotaku. They hated us there because nobody wanted to talk about Video Game High School. And we're like, this is a YouTube show about video games. What else do you want, Kotaku? A lot of those YouTube subscribers smashed that unsubscribe button and never came back. Most went into the loving arms of Machinima, which later got sold for $100 million and these days looks like they sell pickleball equipment. Additionally, all of the cool Hollywood professionals we were working with thought the show sucked. They were like, can we please change the name? High School? Like, we can't sell High School. Brands would tell us, we can't sell High School. Can you change it to something cool, like Video Game Academy? And we're like, no. Now, I'm not gonna act like we didn't take any brand money we could get, wherever we could get it to get that show made. There is egregious product placement in Video Game High School. But even we, upstart internet losers, had our limits. So when AT&T asked us to change the name of the internet on the show to the AT&T Uverse, we politely declined. This ended up being a major tactical blunder. Years later, we're shopping around the animated spin-off with our partners at Titmouse, and we have been pitching this thing for years at this point. We've gone back to places, and there's just like new leadership there, so like, let's pitch it again. We finally get a bite at Cartoon Network. And like, we have executives who believe in the show. It feels like it's finally gonna get made. Our lawyers are about to get talking to each other. A deal's about to be struck. But then Cartoon Network Studios gets folded into Warner Brothers Animation, which is itself a subsidiary of Warner Brothers Discovery. Warner Brothers Discovery got formed when Discovery merged with Warner Media. Warner Media was spun off by their parent company, you guessed it, AT&T. New management means cleaning house and staff reorganization, so our little project fell by the wayside. They would get their revenge in the end. We made 3 seasons of Video Game High School. Brandon would move on to create several seminal works in VR gaming. We renamed the channel RocketJump, made more videos with very cool people, got on a couple late night talk shows. We got entertainment lawyers and representation. We start going to pitch meetings around town. We made 2 shows with Hulu, none of which got second seasons, which for all of you industry veterans out there will know that means those shows didn't do very good. We pitched movies to, in no particular order, every streaming service you've ever heard of, any production company that would take our meeting, YouTube, Snapchat, Xbox, Yahoo, Verizon, Go90, Quibi. We couldn't get a show with Quibi. Everyone got a show with Quibi. At one point, I flew to China for 2 weeks to pitch Chinese media companies, which, by the way, caused a minor conspiracy theory that RocketJump had been acquired by Chinese media companies, to which I say, bro, I wish. At one point, we were in talks with Steam. We were talking to those guys for months. And one day we hop on the phone with them and they're like, yeah, sorry, we don't have the power to make that show. So much for flat organizational structure, huh? You want a true tale of Hollywood woe? Let me tell you about The Witcher. We're big fans of the games and the books. Nobody in Hollywood knew what The Witcher was. We got connected with the people who had the rights. Now, originally they were planning on making it as like kind of a smaller-ish budget feature film. We read the script and we're like, no, guys, do it as a series. Follow the books, start off with the short stories. We laid out what the first season could be. We convinced them on that. We got our materials together. The director flew in from Poland. We pitched it all around town. We went to Amazon. Amazon had another fantasy series in development. Wonder what that could have been. I leveraged every contact and every ounce of credibility I had. We got in front of the head-ups at Netflix. And to be clear, like, we're already in over our heads on this deal. Like, we didn't think we were gonna really get much out of this because, you know, we're kind of Johnny-come-lately to the party. So we pitch it all over the place. We don't hear anything. Months later, we hear they're doing it. And of course, we're nowhere near this project, which is fine. We get it. It hurts. It sucked. We put a bunch of, work into it, but that's Hollywood, baby. That's just how it goes. But then our agents were like, whoa, hold on. Weren't you guys a part of this? We're gonna get you a credit. And I was like, okay, yeah. That'd be cool, go for it. Little did I know that I'd greenlit a napalm strike on every bridge that I had. They called the producers, they called Netflix, they called everyone involved in the original project, and they just yelled at everyone. They yelled at everyone so long and so hard that to this day, I'm unsure if Netflix is cool with me anymore. 2 weeks later, I'm at a Asian Americans in Hollywood event, and a guy I don't even know who works at Netflix, I've never seen this guy before, comes up to me and goes like, hey Freddie, hey, nice to meet you. Heard about The Witcher, woof. I'm like, what? Woof what? And then after that, we're like, well, that's not what we wanted to happen. Well, we should schedule a call with our guys and be like, hey, we need to talk about new representation. So we set the call up, and on the call, first thing they say, hey guys, this isn't working out. They broke up with us before we could even break up with them? Man, that's slick. Anyway, that's a short summary of the 5 years we spent killing it in Hollywood.
On November 2nd, 2018, I pressed upload on the RocketJump YouTube channel for the last time. That video, story break animated, procedurally generated romance novels, prophetically foresaw the rise of generative AI. It was also the final RocketJump video.
Until 6 years later when we threw up the trailer for We're All Gonna Die. As each year passed, Matt and I grew more and more frustrated at our inability to get literally anything off the ground. But that shouldn't be surprising. Anybody who knows Hollywood knows that this is a town rife with stories of close calls, near misses, and a lot of failed pitches. This is an industry full of people who have way longer careers, way more talented than us, who have had a much harder time getting things made. So we're not unique in that regard at all. But at one point, I saw a pitch deck for someone else's project that had shots from our videos on it. They were using us as reference imagery. I saw that and I felt ashamed. So finally, we decided to go back to the way we've always done things, by ourselves on our own. We need to make a feature film entirely within our own means. Thankfully, a decade of experience and a wealth of accolades as an early online internet influencer pioneer at the forefront of online digital media entertainment afforded me incredible insight into how to get a feature film production off the ground. Insight which I share with you now. Making a movie the Freddie Wong way. Step 1, gather talented friends. Step 2, create an improvised Dungeons & Dragons comedy podcast with those friends and become one of the top subscribed podcasts on Patreon in the world. Dungeons & Daddies is probably the funniest thing we've ever done. Second only, of course, to Anime Crimes Division, which, by the way, I was playing Death Stranding 2. Riley is in Death Stranding 2. So is Sungwon.
What a treat.
His voice, not his likeness. I wonder if Kojima knows that he's got the 2 leads of hit web series Anime Crimes Division and Death Stranding 2. He's a huge nerd. He might. But I just saw his Criterion Closet episode, and it's all... Have you seen it? It's all obscure Japanese cinema, so probably not. For the next 4 years, we're doing our D&D podcast, and Matt and I are squirreling away all of our podcast money to blow it all in one place. Our first feature film, independently financed in 2022 in the middle of the pandemic, which in retrospect was the worst time to independently finance a feature film. With that movie, we got into our first festival, South by Southwest. We got to see firsthand how the Tech Bros ruined Austin. Also, Gordo's is the best donuts in the world right now, no question. After the festival, we did a small theatrical run, and now the movie is available for digital download and torrent, and I'm working on the Blu-ray as we speak. I have the check disc. I have to go make sure there's no errors on it after we're done here. I'm seeing all the receipts come in, and let me tell you, boy howdy, we're not making our money back on this one, eh? But that's fine, because we made a movie we're proud of, and we learned a lot throughout the process. And that basically catches you up to where we are today. Matt and I are gearing up to make another movie, and this time, it's not an introspective sci-fi road trip comedy featuring stunning performances by Ashley Birch and Jordan Rodriguez. No! This one's gonna be a punchy martial arts action comedy starring me, the greatest Guitar Hero player who's ever lived. Is this the most bald-faced self-insert vanity project ever made? You be the judge. The movie is called Nail House. It's about 2 brothers defending their family dumpling shop, this restaurant that you see before you, from an evil tech giant who wants their land for a corporate campus. Think Stephen Chow, Jackie Chan, with a whole lot of heart. The older brother, played by me. The younger brother, someone you may recognize, Brandon H. Lee. You might know him from Cobra Kai. I know him as a 5th degree black belt who's medaled extensively in national and international competition. Impressive, right? But I can do that. Piece of cake. By the way, you might have noticed, this isn't a real Chinese restaurant I'm standing in. This is a set that we've built inspired by the numerous Chinese American restaurants that I remember growing up and having family dinners in. Now you might be asking yourself, seems like a lot of work, why build a whole Chinese restaurant set? It's because that we found that over the years, you get the best action by planning it out inside the spaces that you're going to be shooting in. It allows you to experiment with ideas, try things out, fling your body around, and most importantly, play around. Last year, we tested the idea of building out our spaces early by building a train car and shooting the first action sequence of the movie. It was a way to test our action design workflow, and it was also a way to get a little bit of the movie done. And yes, doing it this way is slower, it's more expensive, it's not the quote-unquote right way of doing things. But there is no right way of doing things. It took us 15 years to figure that out. Don't you get it? Can't you see what's happened to creativity? We marched willingly into the open arms of capital to be rewarded with a curse. The curse is that now we all have to fight for people's attention, busking on a global stage and hawking our wares to a society decadent in distraction and frivolity. I said yes to Creator Clash 3 because I wanted to use that boxing training so I could change the way I moved, so I would be ready for the fights in this movie. I was willing to get in front of a stage of thousands, mostly Sapnap and Tubbo fans, but thousands of people get punched in the head. And what I would do is on the way out, I would wear a robe, and on the back of the robe it would say Mama Wong's Dumpling House, and that was how we were gonna start promoting this movie. What dark extremes must we pursue now to be heard over the din of slop and machine hallucination? I don't know. I know only that this teapot is the exact type of teapot I remember, and it needs to be in this Chinese restaurant. I remember this chair, this green and this leather and this shape. I sat in a chair like this on my 6th birthday party and they brought me fruitcake. I remember these placemats with the zodiac, year of the ox. I would read these while we were waiting for the waiters to bring us our food. Bright, patient, and inspiring to others. You can be happy by yourself, yet make an outstanding parent. Marry a snake or a cock. The sheep will bring trouble. We're gonna throw a small child off of this railing and into this table and through this placemat. You're probably wondering, Freddie, why now? Why not end RocketJump on a high note? Story Break animated, procedurally generated romance novels was one of the best videos you guys have ever made. Why come back? The answer is simple. I'm coming back because I've waited long enough. Long enough for some, not all, but some of our original fan base to become high net worth individuals.
What's up, guys? Freddie Wong here. Perhaps you were tickled pink by Medal of Honor Cat and then acquired unfathomable generational wealth playing Minecraft. Or perhaps you're a fan of Video Game High School and cryptocurrency. Or perhaps you were moved by what the crying PC gamer had to say about hackers in online spaces and then became a financial dominatrix, or FinDom, and are now in charge of a diverse portfolio of perverts and are looking for new exciting ways to blow their wads. Of cash, that is. If this sounds like you and you want to help finance a feature film, have a look in the description. There's a link there to a Discord server for discerning individuals such as yourself. With your money and preferably zero to no creative oversight, I feel confident that we can make a kick-ass martial arts movie together. As for the rest of you, we're making videos again, so I don't know what you have to do. The unsubscribe and resubscribe. Let YouTube know you mean it. Better yet, use a feature on your browser called bookmarks. You can get a bookmark to any page on the internet by pressing Control or Command D if you're on a Mac. Bookmarks let you store your favorite websites in one convenient, easily accessible place. When it comes time to visit the site again, it's right there waiting for you. While you're bookmarking pages, have a look at the RocketJump Patreon. The RocketJump Patreon is a paywall. What a paywall does is it makes us feel more comfortable putting things up like the entire Nail House script, raw behind the scenes footage as we prep to make this movie. You can also watch our first movie there too, We're All Gonna Die. What's cool about bookmarks is that you don't have to remember the long URLs for your favorite websites. Now I know some of you tech-savvy users are asking, what's the point in bookmarks? I'll just search my history every time I need to go back to a website. You see, with tabs and all of our devices, it can be hard to track down exactly where and when you access that website. Bookmarks make it easy. We're gonna be doing a crowdfund for Nail House at some point here, but Patreon's gonna be the most direct way to support us, this channel, and our work. And in return for your support, I pledge to you, my loyal fans, that I will never interrupt a video to do some mid-roll baked in, brought to you by ass sponsor ad read. I do those on my Dungeons and Dragons podcast.